David Wygant, 10-minute daily reality check, Saturday, November. Doesn't matter what day it is. Doesn't matter where you're at right now. Unless you know the magical, incredible power of the kiss. Now, you might be thinking I'm talking about the kiss when two lovers meet for the very, very first time. That kiss is extremely powerful. Or the kiss at the end of a date where you've built up the sexual tension all night and you walk them to the door and you give them that first kiss and your head feels so light, so spinning, and just so out of control good. I'm talking about the power of kiss. The keep it simple, stupid rule of life. Why do people overcomplicate the most simplest things in the world? If you think about it, everything in life should come with an instruction manual and not one of those ridiculous Ikea ones. What the fuck is up with Ikea? Let me tell you something. I can't put Ikea stuff together for the life of me. How many times do you look at an Ikea instruction guide and you look at the pictures and you see all the sticks, all the screws, all the ridiculous pictures, and you think to yourself, how the fuck am I going to do this? Every time I get something from Ikea, I go right to Craigslist afterwards and I literally find somebody who comes over and puts Ikea furniture together. It's amazing how I find that. I put Ikea furniture together. It's like $25 an hour. It's so worth it. Or now I just buy something from Ikea used if I need it for my daughter's room because there's no way I'm going to put it together. Who thought of those instructions with diagrams? It's great for people who are visually able to literally understand the different sizes of bolts and nuts and everything else. But for people like me, it doesn't work at all. I was thinking maybe I should just have a diagram of how men and women should meet. Hear me out on this one. There's a woman standing there. She's staring at her iPhone. Yeah, I know this is the culture. It would be the modern version, right? So I would draw this whole thing. Maybe she would look like a Peanuts character, or, I don't know, maybe Garfield or something funny like that. And she'd be standing there with her phone, listening to her Walkman. Oh my God, did I just outdate myself or what? Listening to her iPhone. I then would draw a picture of the man with a big question mark over his head because men at that moment always think to themselves, what do I say? What do I do? How do I approach her? I need to say the right thing. I need to be funny. I need to be this. I need to be everything. By now, the woman's got on the bus and she left and she's listening to her theme music. And the theme music is Gonna Fly by Rocky because she wants to get the fuck away from the creepy guy that's been looking at her the whole time. But what if we slowed life down? And what if there was an Ikea instruction manual for actually how men and women can actually meet? The picture would be this simple. There'd be a picture of a man in box 1, a picture of a woman in box 2. There'd be all the ingredients that come in that box, literally. You'd make sure you had the right tools. The tools would literally list all the tools you needed. The tools would be voice and ears and eyes. You check and see if everything was included in the box. If you were a man, you check and see if all the man stuff was included in that box. And sure enough, it was. And then you check and see if if you're a woman, if you had all the right stuff in the box. And then you'd look at the diagram. The first diagram would be man. First diagram would be woman. Second diagram would be woman with her phone staring at. The third diagram would be man walking over there. The fourth diagram would be man uttering words. Hello. Wow, that's a novel idea. Hello. Or maybe, wow, Instagram. What are you looking at today on Instagram? What's your favorite feed? I'm always looking for new, beautiful ways to be inspired. I know way too many words for the Ikea stuff, but maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a little slip of paper to realize just how simple it really is for men and women to connect. It's crazy all the things that we think we should do. It's crazy that we're just not walking over to each other and saying, hello. Why do we think hello is such a terrible word to use? Hi, how's your day? So I think with this IKEA instruction plan, hear me out, right? All these little pictures, maybe you should have like 10 approaches you can do. One would be, women looking at that Ikea thing and realizing, no, big X through the iPhone with a circle, right? Meaning if you put the iPhone down, you'll actually go and meet somebody. The second one would be just a smiley face, right? The third one would be LOL, because you need to laugh out loud to make a man feel comfortable in your presence. The fourth one would be validate him. The fifth one would be like ears. The sixth one would be mouth. The seventh one would be another smile. The eighth one would be handing phone over. The ninth one would be fingers punching a number into the phone. And the 10th one would be actually waiting by the phone for the person to call. The man's one would be really, really simple too. You walk over there. Okay, the first one would be walking over. There'd be like ghosts and goblins and fears and pictures of all that stuff. Maybe Bruce the shark from Jaws would be there. All the terrifying things, an airplane crash, whatever it might be. The second picture would be walk over. You're holding your balls in your hand, so you're not putting them in a mayonnaise jar and being deballed like most men are. The third one, and this is really simple, the third one would be opening your mouth. The fourth one would be listening. The fifth one would be opening your mouth. The sixth one would be listening. The seventh one would have an open mouth and a smile. The eighth one would be listening. The ninth one would be punching your phone number and her phone number in your phones. And the 10th one, this is the best one of them all. It would be like 1 hour later, it would be time lapse. And it would be you texting her this simple thing. Great meeting you, enjoyed talking. Have an inspiring day. It's amazing if you actually do that over and over and over again, doing those simple steps. What happens is you'll start getting good at this. You'll start to be a social person. There's a great book called Outliers, and in that book, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell talks about the amount of hours it takes to be really good at something. You can't just go to med school for the weekend and start operating on people, can you now? You can't just become a lawyer in a weekend. You can't just become a master architect or even a contractor or even flipping fucking burgers at McDonald's takes more than a weekend. When a person commits to doing the same routines over and over again to eliminate the old routines in their life, whether it's just talking to the opposite sex or building a business or getting rid of neurotic habits, you start to become good at it. The problem is so many people will come to me and they'll take a boot camp or they'll get coaching and they want these patterns and behaviors to end immediately. It's like almost like I have a fucking scalpel and I give them a lobotomy. Okay, here's your lobotomy. And people always look at me and go, oh my God, you're so good at this. You're so good at talking to people. Yeah, I just woke up this way. I remember when I slid down my mom's birth canal, I looked at the nurse when I came out as I was still attached to my umbilical cord, and I looked at her and I said, fuck, man, that was good. Nice and warm and juicy up there, man. I'm going to be back up there real soon. Hey, honey, what are you doing right now? You want to spank me on the butt? You want to go have a drink or a smoke? Seriously. It took me 18 and a half years to lose my virginity. It took me a long amount of time to be able to learn how to approach women on the street, to be able to approach people, to be able to be the social person that I am, to be able to have no fear. And I did it because I was fucking committed. All of you that want to make a change automatically overnight, you're not committed. Just like any skill, social skills take time to build that social muscle, to be able to experience ups and downs and all arounds. So for some of you, maybe you need to make it an IKEA weekend. Maybe you need to just keep it simple this weekend and realize that if you just follow the simple instruction manual that I outlined in the beginning of this podcast, you are easily going to be able to have an amazing social life. Join me tomorrow on the podcast. And do me a favor, spread the podcast to everybody that has issues with meeting. Today's 10-minute daily reality check has been brought to you by IKEA. So the next girlfriend or boyfriend you want, just go there and build them customly, because you have to build yourself first. I'll see you tomorrow. I need to go participate in going to this incredible, if you're in the Los Angeles area, Mercado Cergado. It's a really cool fair that's held the first weekend in November. My daughter and I are going together today. So if you happen to show up at Mercado Cergado today, come over and say hi. And I'll show you how I'm teaching my little daughter how to be a social being too.